Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a concept that completely changes the way we look at building wealth. Picture yourself standing at the top of a massive snowy mountain. You pack a tiny snowball together, it's barely the size of your hand, and you give it a gentle push downhill. At first, it rolls pretty slowly, growing just a little bit. Honestly, someone watching might even laugh at how small it is. But as it keeps rolling, it doubles in size, then quadruples, then multiplies by 10, until it's this enormous, unstoppable force of nature. Today, we're going to explore how wealth works in exactly the same way. And as you'll see, the hardest part isn't actually becoming rich. It's just building that very first tiny snowball. To really wrap our heads around this, let's start with a crazy question. How do two 25-year-olds making the exact same salary end up literally millions of dollars apart by the time they hit 55? Let's assume neither of them wins the lottery and neither of them invents the next billion-dollar app. And yet, one retires with a net worth over $2 million, while the other is still scraping by, living paycheck to paycheck. So what happened? Well, the answer isn't luck. It's not raw intelligence, and it's not even about making more money. The answer is just that one of them understood a very powerful financial concept, and the other didn't. Section 1, A Tale of Two Paths. Imagine these two 25-year-olds. Let's call them Sarah and Jake. They land the exact same jobs, making $60,000 a year. They get the same standard raises, and neither has a trust fund to fall back on. They are starting on completely equal footing. But right out of the gate, their daily choices go in totally different directions. Sarah makes this quiet, almost invisible decision to save just 15% of her income every month in a simple index fund. Jake, on the other hand, upgrades his car, buys the newest gadgets, and travels. He figures, hey, I'll invest later. Now, to be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying life. But Jake is operating under the belief that investing is something you can just put off for a more convenient time. Fast forward 5 years. They're both 30 now. Sarah looks at her investment account and she's got right around $60,000. Jake sees this and actually laughs. He's like, wait, you've been scrimping and saving, missing out on weekend trips and new cars just for that? But Sarah just smiles. She isn't bothered by the teasing because she understands something fundamental that Jake is completely blind to. She knows her snowball is still near the top of the mountain. It just hasn't hit the steep part of the hill yet. Section 2. The Secret of Compound Growth. At its core, compound growth is just the process where your investments earn returns, and then those returns earn even more returns over time. It's literally just your money making money, which then turns around and makes even more money. It's this incredible exponential loop. When your assets grow, that new, larger amount is what generates the next round of growth. It is one of the most powerful forces in all of finance. It's the invisible gravity pulling that snowball down the mountain faster and faster. Think of it like planting a garden. You plant a single apple tree. It takes a few years, but eventually that tree produces apples. Now, inside every one of those apples are more seeds. If you take those seeds and plant them, suddenly you have more trees. Those new trees grow, create even more apples, which contain even more seeds. Eventually, you don't just own one single tree, you own an entire orchard. Money works the exact same way. Your initial dollars are the seeds. The returns are the apples. Over time, you aren't just earning interest on your initial cash, you're earning interest on your interest. Section 3. The Math Behind the Wealth. Let's look at the actual numbers to see how this plays out. Say you invest $500 a month, earning a historical average of about 10% annually. After 10 years, you've put in roughly $60,000 of your own money. Your account is worth about $100,000. Okay, nice, but not exactly life-changing. Now, wait another 10 years. By year 20, you've put in $120,000 total, but your portfolio value? It's nearly $380,000. Now, fast forward to 40 years. Your total out-of-pocket contribution is $240,000, yet your portfolio is now worth over $2.5 million. The gap between what you put in and what you get out becomes absolutely staggering as the decades roll on. And here's the absolute game changer. The money already inside your account starts doing all the heavy lifting. Did you notice something wild about that math? Most of that $2.5 million wasn't created by your salary. It wasn't from grinding out 80-hour work weeks. It was created by time. Wealthy people often become wealthier not because they have massive salaries, but because their money is simply working way harder than they are. Their assets become employees working 24/7, even while they're fast asleep. Section 4. Obstacles and Mindset Shifts. So if the math is this straightforward, why isn't everyone walking around rich? Well, because human nature pushes back. There are 3 major psychological obstacles that trip people up. First, we expect overnight wealth. We live in a world of instant gratification, and we want results right now. Second, we treat wealth building like a sprint instead of a marathon. Think of two runners. Runner A sprints as fast as possible for one lap, looks like a total winner, but then just collapses. Runner B jogs at a steady, sustainable pace every single day and actually finishes the whole marathon. And the third and probably most dangerous obstacle, quitting too early. Remember Sarah? What if at year 5, when she only had 60K and Jake was laughing at her, she got discouraged and just threw in the towel? She would have completely missed the explosion of wealth that happens in decades 2, 3, and 4. To beat those psychological hurdles, we can't just rely on motivation. Motivation fades. We have to rely on systems. And that means building 3 small everyday habits. Number 1, save $10 today. Number 2, invest a set amount every single month, no matter what the stock market is doing. And number 3, avoid unnecessary debt. Individually, these actions feel tiny. You are not going to feel richer the day you save $10. But repeated consistently over the years, these tiny actions build unstoppable momentum.
Section 5. The Wealth Building Formula.
So here is the ultimate step-by-step wealth building formula. And honestly, it might surprise you with how boring it is. But I mean that as a huge compliment. Here it is. Step 1, earn an income. Step 2, spend less than you earn. Step 3, invest the difference. Step 4, leave it alone. And step 5, repeat for decades. The issue is, most people want to skip straight to step 5. They want the decades of results, but they want them overnight. Nature just doesn't work that way. Trees take years to grow, mountains form over millions of years, and snowballs need distance to become massive. Money follows those exact same rules. And this brings us to a crucial psychological shift we need to make. There's a great quote that says, "Success appears overnight, but wealth almost never does." When most people look at a highly successful investor, they are only seeing the end result of 30 years of compounding. They just see the giant snowball crushing everything at the bottom of the mountain. What they don't see are the decades of quiet patience, the skipped vacations, the disciplined monthly deposits, and those early years when it felt like absolutely nothing was happening at all. Now, I know some of you tuning into this explainer might be thinking, okay, this is great, but I'm 40 or I'm 50. Is it too late for me? The answer is no, absolutely not. Time matters for sure, but action matters more. A smaller snowball that starts rolling today is always going to be bigger than a perfect snowball that just sits in your hands and never gets pushed down the hill. Like the old saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best day to begin is today. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The wealthiest people out there usually aren't the ones who made the most money. They're just the ones who gave their money the most time. Take a hard look at your own finances and daily habits right now and ask yourself, are you still carrying your snowball, or have you finally started rolling it downhill? Because once you let go, gravity does the rest. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Start rolling that snowball, and I'll catch you in the next one.